Hello, I'm here with another Q and A. I'm here with the artist Matthew Lloyd at his exhibits, Strange Adventures.
That's right.
That's right, curated by Reggie Wayne. Okay, let's get into it. So, let me start off with my first question. It's pretty good. It's pretty straightforward. Uh, since a lot of your artwork, a lot of your style, I'd say it's a blend between surreal art and pop art. Can I say that?
Sure.
Right. Yeah. I see a lot. Obviously, I see a lot of comic influence. So
Yeah.
I want to understand, what do comics mean to you, like personally, or like your history with them? Like, what sort of influence do they have, like over your art style, or just over you as a person?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's been a part of my life since I was a little kid. I remember the first comic book I ever bought. My mom took me to a place in Little Rock, is where I'm from, called High's Eye Comics. It's not there anymore. And it was a cool comic store. So it was just stacked full of old comics. Everything smelled musky and gross. And I bought a Master of Kung Fu comic book, and she let me get a little plastic bag for 10 cents to put it in. So I felt like a real collector. And so, yeah, the comics have always meant something to me. And the imagery from it is what's important to me. That's what makes me feel good. Kind of growing up in the 80s, right? I was always inundated with advertising and inundated with, toys and all that kind of stuff. And when you walk into a toy store and you walk down that aisle of GI Joe figures or whatever, it's like art. I mean, you have all this beautiful color stuff on the wall and what it means to you. So just the warm feeling you get when I see something like a 35-cent label on this corner of a comic book, which I do. I put a lot in my work, or something on the little banner that's on the top of Marvel Comics from the 70s. It says Marvel Comics Group, but that's little banner up top. I love that. So that's kind of the imagery that just makes me nostalgic, and I enjoy it.
Hmm. I can definitely see like the love, and like from a comic books fan, like you're very like you're working a lot of just sort of the dialogue and sort of kind of like the style, and sort of like you can immediately recognize if it wasn't art, it would probably part of like a comic book panel.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to feel like that. Like, I think in my youth, I wanted to be a comic book artist, and I wasn't quick enough and talented enough to do that, because it's a lot of work to do that, because you get paid by the page, and so you've got to work really fast. And I'm just not. I can't work that fast. So I enjoy just focusing everything on one painting, and then I can kind of put that one away and focus on something new for the next one.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
All right then. Moving on to my second question. This is sort of I wouldn't. These are comments that I've heard. I wouldn't call them, at least to me, a criticism or anything. But how do you respond to comments or takes calling your art a little bit weird or unsettling? Like I find that to be more of like an interesting sort of piece to it, kind of like multiple eyes, heads on top of heads, like that sort of, again, has that surreal feeling, but there's like in Batman a little bit. I guess I've heard comments calling it kind of like terrifying or again unsettling.
Oh, that's
So
kind of cool. I mean, yeah, that makes me happy. So, I want it to mean something or say something or make somebody feel some way of some kind, right? But at the end of the day, my art is not about what you think or anybody else thinks. It's just about what makes me happy. If I can finish a piece and look at it and say, "Man, that's pretty damn cool," then I'm happy. And then if somebody else feels like that, also, that's just icing on the cake. So for me, a successful piece is one I can walk away from and not hate.
I honestly get that. There's a lot of like artist to artist, like I guess a lot of artists will recognize it comes down to kind of like your individual choice. You're not making art
Yeah.
for others, you're making art to like not just that sense of satisfaction, but like it is your art.
Yeah, and that's hard to do for a lot of people. It's hard to do for me, because if somebody said, "Man, your art sucks," that hurts my feelings. You know what I mean? So I don't want that. I want people to like it, but at the same time, I have to like it first. And then if somebody else enjoys it, that's great.
Yeah, you're being mindful of public reception, but not influenced by it.
Correct.
Yeah.
I try to anyway. That's the idea, right?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Moving on to my next question.
Yeah.
This is more of a want to kind of dig into your style, or kind of like what I've noticed. So,
Mhm.
in a color sense, going along with color theory, I see you kind of gravitate towards yellows and blues, in which I understand yellows in that sort of understanding like basic color theory. Yellow is kind of associated with I guess you could call it like a crazy color. It's bright, it's vibrant, it's eye catching. It's especially how you place it as well. Like with some pieces like Chaos in Yellow, and there was another one. Sorry, it's
Panicking yellow.
Panic in Yellow. Yes, yes. So, but there's also Chaos in Blue as well. So I see
Yeah.
kind of like that interplay. I see sort of that relation where I get that sense of, panic and chaos when it comes to yellow, but like blue is typically more of a somber color. Like you also use it in some pieces sort of like as a background. But again, so I want to just understand your relationship with those two colors specifically, but also just like your knowledge and application of like color theory in general.
Yeah, color theory is probably one of my weakest things. I've never been real good at it. I do like when I paint and I pick my colors out, I do take it's the most stressful part of it for me is to just kind of because the colors can screw everything up, regardless of how good your line is or anything else on the canvas. If your color's not where it needs to be, then it's trash. So for me, I just like things to be able to pop and pull your attention from across the room. So when I'm painting, I have a studio upstairs in my house, and there's a hallway that I will paint, and I'll go to the end of the hallway and squint my eyes. And if the color pops and pulls me towards the thing, then I like it. It's not really about choosing blue over yellow or anything else. It's about being able to draw a viewer from far away to want to come closer to see it. And then that's also why I like to do so much work on the surface of the canvas before I put a figure or an image on top of it with, multiple layers of paper or different, types of paint or thicker gesso in areas or whatever, so that the image pulls you in. But then once you get close, you start to see these little details that you didn't notice unless you were standing right in front of it. So it's this concept of being able to grab somebody's attention, pull them in, and then giving them something to look at up close they didn't realize.
I get it. No, that now that you're like bringing, yeah, there's like even like you mentioned, like it worked on me specifically. Like from a distance, they're already eye catching. Just kind of like based on the color scheme motif, and I can just based on the imagery. It's kind of like I'm recognizing faces, and then like you come close, and then I'm starting to see like the larger image. I'm starting to see like the details in both kind of like I said, the multiple eye placement, the skeletons down there as well. Like it kind of adds to that sense of unsettling the more I look at it. So
Right.
the effect does work. It definitely like draws your audience in, and not just me. I wasn't there for the opening reception, but I've been seen other audiences look at your work, and like they're always kind of like they're all close.
Yeah.
As well, so the effect works.
Yeah, good. That's exactly why I do that, and it's something that I continue to play with, and now I'm starting to instead of just having paper with rough lines or cut lines or whatever, I'm starting to actually like do cut paper words and phrases and things like that, putting them on and painting on top of that, to where you don't see it unless you look at it from a side angle or something, and then these messages start to come out.
Right. Yeah. I did see you playing with that on your social media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So, I think possibly moving on to my final question.
Okay.
Hate to end it so soon, but this so far has been really good.
Yeah, we enjoyed it.
Yeah. I want to just understand very basic what I ask a lot of artists is, the what's next? Like after this exhibit is the closing is March 31st, correct?
It might extend a little beyond that, maybe the first week of April.
Okay. So then I want to understand sort of yeah, your closing reception. And you know what? Also, I guess you can consider this a part two to the question.
Yeah.
Your opening reception as well.
Yeah.
So like give me thoughts on your opening reception and then, leaning towards your closing reception and beyond.
Yeah, I'll give you like a long answer on this one. So, I've been a small business owner for the last 17 years, and that's finally afforded me a time to take my art more seriously and spend more time in it and work on it. So, just in the last, let's say, year and a half, 2 years has been me focusing on just trying to improve my style, trying to have my own imagery that comes out through the work that I'm doing. And I've started to try to show this work. I did a show prior to this one, at the end of last year, that was really cool, and I enjoyed doing that. This one, it was the same. It was a great experience. We had a good opening. A lot of people showed up. The weather would have been nicer. It probably would have even been better. So we're kind of hoping to get the art crawl, that first Saturday art crawl that
Yeah.
they do here. We're hoping to get a little bit more people in for that. So we'll do another small reception for that one. But going forward, for me, it's just keep pushing, keep extending my ideas, keep pushing the boundaries of what I do now and what's I want to look back at all this work and be like, "Oh, I remember when I did that stuff, and now I'm doing this stuff. It makes me happy." So yeah, and just to keep showing and keep doing what I'm doing and see where it takes me.
I get that. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So I guess that concludes this Q&A. Thank you for coming out here.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you. And thank you also to Reggie Wayne for setting it up. And yeah, that's another Q&A. Okay, man. All right. So, question for you. I've also been seeing you also make big art moves as well. I saw two of your portraits. Well, sorry, one of your portraits and another work on recently on your Instagram post. So, I want to understand how you've been progressing your work as an artist while also being a curator. How are you kind of balancing those two different careers?
Man, it's definitely been a challenge, staying active and creatively active in both. I think it's been a lot of fun, but one of the things I really enjoy about curating is I get inspired by each artist I work with, and I find myself taking a little bit of what they use in their practice, maybe, or just how they go about doing their work. Just Matt, he put me on game about some paint pens. So I was just talking with them, talking about art, thinking about it, and that helps me create as well. But it's definitely been hard kind of balancing both because I'm really like have the urge to create, but I also have the urge to create by curating and putting on shows, doing different exhibits, and trying to help artists show their art and sell their art and trying to create a platform here in Nashville for artists to sell their work and create new collectors. So that's really my biggest goal. So I guess I'm trying to create in three ways. I'm trying to create new customers, new collectors. I'm trying to create my own art, and I'm trying to create shows for artists. So.
I get it. Yeah. It sounds like a lot, but so far you've been managing, right?
Yeah, I've been doing okay. Yeah, I've been doing okay.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot's coming down the pipeline soon. Just continue to work and just to work at a steady pace and continue to put shows on and meet different artists and collaborate and build community. So that's really what we're doing.
All right. Well, thank you. Okay then.
Cool. That's great.